You mentioned the Aces, Shawnee.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said that they are not it.
Tape.
The Aces. The Aces are doing things again. And what's crazy is there's a couple things I could be talking about right now. They picked a horrible, awful organization to sponsor for the Commissioner's Cup in the ADL. They deleted that tweet. Presumably they're changing that. Good on them. They were getting cooked, rightfully so. But I do want to talk about not that, but the fact that, as reported today, when we're recording this today, just a couple hours ago, reported by Callie Finn of the Las Vegas Review-Journal, one of the Vegas beat writers, the $100,000 sponsorship is back again this season. Now, for those of you, if you're a new fan or if you just to refresh your memory, this happened last season. This 100K, each player gets 100K basically just to go and do things in Vegas. Like, for example, one of the sponsored events was attending the Janet Jackson concert, is what I saw in this article. And this sparked an investigation last season that has still not been, like, figured out one way or the other. And so it's the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, essentially their tourism board in Vegas, just said, well, if they're not saying we're doing anything wrong, we're not going to keep on keeping on. And I think partially this is a horrible reflection on the WNBA, because how do you not have this figured out yet? Like, if this is okay or not. So that's one part of this. But also, I can't believe they're just doing it again while the investigation is still, technically speaking, open. This is one of the most, like, WNBA things, like, in terms of like things taking too long to do.
Are they serious?
Like,
are y'all like, serious?
This is a very WNBA style of thing to do, just from what we know about being around the league for a while. Like, this is a very WNBA thing to be doing. I can't believe this is happening again. I still don't feel like it should be legal at all, period. But I'm interested in your take here.
One, the league is taking entirely too long to make a decision one way or the other. Because, like, this isn't a thing that's just going to go away. Two, there was so much gray area with the first go around of this, where it was just like, oh, we didn't go through the team. We went through the agents of the players. The players didn't even know. The agents made the deal, and and it's like, well, the agents made the deal without conferring with the players, because that don't make sense. And also, you can't do that. Oh yeah, and then, like, nobody in the front office knew, so their hands are clean. But it's like, they knew you were coming to the practice facility with your camera crew. So it's like there was a whole bunch of the stuff you had to do to get through loopholes the first time around. So I'm just like, how does this work now the second time around? Because now
I can tell you a little bit. Essentially exactly the same. From the article here, it says Hill said everything. Hill being a representative of the tourism board. Hill said everything was negotiated directly with players' agents without any participation from the Aces last year. He maintained the same was true this year with fewer hurdles. It went, and then quote, it went more smoothly this year than last year. Last year we had to work through contract language and work through expectations. Nobody had experienced the process, so there were understandable questions and maybe a little bit of concern. But this year, everybody has seen what we asked and allowed the players to do. So essentially, the exact same. So again, there is an investigation by doing exactly what you did last year. And now you are doing copy and paste what you did last year, except you don't have to draft up the contracts. The contracts are just already there for you to do.
But see, okay, so here's my thing. There were all these questions, right? There was all these hurdles, but y'all still brought a camera crew into the locker room to announce you were giving them the money, and then had to turn around and be like, oh, they haven't signed anything yet. We're just, that was like, why would you do this publicly? Like, y'all wanted to stunt, and like, I don't know. I just think it was always a bad idea to unveil it to the public in the way that they did.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that and it's going to be a complicated thing, don't bring a camera crew and get everybody's face on there.
Yeah. And what's
celebrating
interesting to me about that point specifically that you're making is that video is actually like part of the reason that they deem this a success to do it again. In the article, it's like that says like it received 2.2 million views on Twitter alone. It said, and then the guy says the announcement itself made it a success just all by itself. There was an awful lot of attention on and eyeballs on Las Vegas, and I'm like, yeah,
75K of that was Kathy rewinding, going, "What the hell?" What? He said, "What?"
Yeah,
run that back.
Yeah. Enhance, like,
zoom in. Like, is that check already?
Yeah. No,
Kirsten Bell gets what?
Never mind. Let me not. Never mind. So to me, I can't even necessarily at this point be mad at Vegas or the players or the agents or the city because the investigation never finished. To me, it shouldn't, even if it wasn't necessarily a penalty on Vegas, to me, this is pretty clear-cut cat space like circumvention to try and be like, hey, if you come here, we got you 100K guaranteed off the books of salary cap, which is so important in the WNBA, as we know, because of the hard cap. So I'm not even necessarily saying like, oh, you got to penalize Vegas for doing this or anything like that, as much as to me, this should be a pretty clear, like, case open, case closed situation of like, yeah, being able to get $100,000 just for simply being on the team, essentially being paid to be on the team, aka what the team pays you for. That to me is should be pretty clear cut with the hard cap of, yeah, we can't do that if one team is doing that. So again, maybe not necessarily a punishment or like taking things away from Vegas or anything like that, but like the standard should be set to me. Yeah, that this is just not okay.
Like, honestly, if you have a lawyer, which I would hope Kathy has a lawyer, like, read over the language, because that's really what it's going to come down to. Is this like an endorsement? Is this closer to like an NIL type situation? Or did they like mess up somewhere and now boom, circumvention, we got you? Like,
yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard. And I don't, in all my years of legal expertise, like, let's get it done. But somebody brought up a good point. They tweeted like, doing this during a CBA type negotiation year, like that's interesting. And I'm kind of like, yeah, because I know the excuse last year was like, well, we're doing it for the league, like we want to set the example of like what treating women and paying female athletes looks like, and treating women with respect and how they should be. And it's like, yes, but like that's not the tourism department in like Minneapolis is not going to be the same as Vegas. So it's like every team is not going to be able to kind of do something like that. So you saying like you're trying to push other teams to follow your lead when it's like, this is something that's going to benefit you more. And it's like, if that's the case, like, then we really got to revisit what like, what was going on in New York when they was trying to get charter flights. Like, if I can spend this money and if I can get the money, then why can't I spend it on my players? Because I don't mind, extra stuff, supplementing, blah, 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 blah. But like, just be consistent and just like, let's have a set rule. And like, let's just say it. Like, show me the money. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm very much okay with W organizations calling broke organizations broke. Call them broke. Like that's no problem. But like, but it does get to a point where I think you're absolutely right. Like, bro, Uncasville ain't got no tourism money.
No,
like they gonna take like a tax from the casino and give it to the W players. Like, yeah, what is that? What does that look like? And I don't know what that rule looks like. But whatever,
like everybody go find a way. Like whatever is going on in your if it's oil, if it's casinos, if
it's truly
Prince's estate,
feels like
museum.
It truly feels like NIL. Like this, what this feels like is NIL. It feels like a donor came in and said, "Hey, if you come play here, you get this money." That is what it feels like. And in a league, and I mean, you look at college, like there's no restrictions on anything. And I guess to a point, outside of the hard cap right now, like that is the restriction in pro sports is the cap space. But like, if nothing's being enforced there has to be something done. Because this just simply isn't it. And again, I'm not even saying that, because I don't even necessarily like blame Vegas for doing this. Yeah, you live in Las Vegas, and people want to come be absolutely. And I'm never gonna be mad at these players making more money either. I just truly want it to be fair, and also I never want an investigation to take this long in the WNBA. There's simply no reason. If you haven't found anything by now, like it's probably not there. If you have actually been investigating the way you're supposed to be, at least. So that's I can't believe out of just in this entirety, I can't believe that we're even having this conversation again. Primarily because the WNBA should have made a ruling one way or the other, but also the fact that they're just doing it again, even with the ruling still not having been made. Like it's crazy to me both ways.
What if Kathy's like the SpongeBob meme? Pussy? Like, okay. And now the ruling is
like,
yelling.
Like, what? She, for all we know, Kathy forgot about it, and now y'all made another announcement. Now look at you.
She better not forget it.
It's like, oh damn, you're right. Like, we did have that thing in Vegas, huh? Like, so
you know what? Matter of fact, yeah, now death penalty in the franchise. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, now get ready to learn San Antonio again, big dog. Like, I'm so sorry. We got plenty.
Yeah, see with the tourism agency getting you in San Antonio.
Hey, get ready to learn Knoxville. Like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it. And any thoughts on the Aces play at all? I mean, Asia is doing Asia things still, but that almost worries me because
that's not good.
That's not a good thing.
Have to replicate like last season. The output she did, it's too much. Like she's gonna be cooked again by the time the playoffs start, and it's like, and it's gonna make sense because when that Yahoo graphic came up and said she's leading the team in every statistical category,
I literally just pulled this up to see if that's still true, and it is. Every major 22.8 points, 10.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 2.3 blocks, 2.7 or 2.3 steals, 2.7 blocks, all lead the team.
And she's leading the team in 3-point field goal percentage. So
is she really?
Yes.
Are you making that up?
One. No, well,
no, you're making that up. You're that's not true.
I thought she hit one. It's not.
Yeah, no, you're making that one up. That one was not true.
It's not.
No, not even close.
No, she hit one.
Yeah, she shot more than one.
I didn't realice that. Doggone it.
She's shooting 26%, big dog.
How many threes? God dang! I didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't know she's taking that.
Hey, she launching that hoe. Like, what's she doing?
hey, she doing everything, bro. That's the problem. Why is Asia Wilson launching? Why is she shooting enough to shoot 26%? This is the problem. This is the problem.
That hoe up, and I just got my goat out here exposed because I want to lie. I'm sorry, goat. Can I offer another honey tribute? I mean it.
Yeah,
but no,
you got him packed up.
Like, oh no. Dang. Cece has the worst fans. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, but like that type of output is not sustainable. And then last year it really concerned me because she went super hard in the Olympics too, and I was just like, I don't like this either. Because she's gonna be burnt out. I don't understand what's going on. Jewel Lloyd did the little interview about, how she was unhappy in Seattle, and I'm like, well, are you unhappy now? Like, what's the problem? Because she looks like Cheeks right now. It's not great. So far, it's not great. It's not great. I don't have any other words other than it's ungood.
I think that about sums it up. Right. I mean, like if you have some games where the field goal percentage is just simply not good, right? I mean, which is like not, and like that's just the type of player that Jewel is. Like she is like go get your bucket type of player, and you kind of have to live with that, which one or the other. Honestly, to a point, like so, I'm looking at both these Seattle games, right? Obviously, the first Seattle game was belt to ass against Vegas. She goes 4-15 in that game. Obviously not good, right? You look at this next game, only 6 shots against Seattle. She goes 3-6 and gets to the line 3 times. And so my thing is, why do we bring you here? Because you're kind of just floating around right now. I mean, frankly, you have to come in and be, because I think one underrated part about trading and essentially doing like the swap for KP was never 1-to-1 in the way that people made it out to be. Because like there's a certain level of like energy that KP brings on the again, not that KP is some like lockdown defender, but like she was working. If nothing else, like she set a tone on the perimeter of working, and it's just not a 1-for-1 likeness in several ways, and that being the one that stands out to me the most. But again, maybe I don't know what I'd prefer, frankly, between like putting the shots up and missing versus not shooting at all, but. Like for Vegas to win a championship this year, Jewel has to get back to championship level Jewel. And maybe it's a comfortability thing about just getting in with this system and everything. But the early returns are way more what we saw last year versus the kind of the gamble of returning to form from 3 years ago, like hell against Vegas, like what we were seeing in those series is like some of those series were crazy, but like that's the worry now where I'm completely with you. I'm like, I just frankly, if A'ja Wilson, my take that I've come to is that if A'ja Wilson is in the MVP conversation, Vegas is screwed. Because like that means
the workload is not eased up at all.
Because if she's anywhere near because frankly, if she plays like below a standard of what she's at last year, like just from a storyline narrative perspective, like that is like people are going to turn another way. That means probably, generally speaking, good things for the long-term success of the Aces this season to me. And that's not to say that A'ja is going to have an impact or that she won't turn it up to that in the playoffs, but it's just a pure gas tank conversation of like
it'll be like years past, like where everybody was like, "Oh, is Kelsey the MVP this season? Oh, is Jackie?"
Man, we haven't had one of those conversations in a long time.
And then so like A'ja didn't have to play a significant amount of minutes. So then Becky had to get in the press conferences and be like, actually, she's doing all of this and like 10, with 10 minutes left in the game and is able to sit. So like it's because she's so good and so productive that she's able to sit for long stretches of the game. So it's like I want to get back to that where we're having to argue like what she's doing in a short amount of time. Yeah, not like she's filling every minute of every game with a stat. Like, oh my gosh, she's capable, but please.
Yes. Please. Capable doesn't mean it's what you should be doing. And that's not, and by no means is any of this a knock on A'ja. It's everyone else. It is absolutely a knock on everyone else because goodness.